With the last production, we all realized that time was going to be a big constraint. So what we did was we doubled the production timeline. So rather than having 4 weeks to make a film, we had 8 weeks. Doubling the time frame helped so much. We were able to flesh out our story a lot more, put some more work, be able to really flesh out our pre-production process so that when we actually get into production and post-production, things would go a lot smoother. Something unique about this film was that we only really had one criteria. It was that someone had to leave, but something was holding them back.
It really started off with like a simple idea of just like, someone is being held back by like emotions or not wanting to leave the house because of like a fear or something. And then talking to some different people, the idea was thrown around of possibly not being able to leave a house because there was a force field around there. And that whole idea really inspired me to go more of like a sci-fi route. That's kind of how it evolved to have our character be dead, and these are two guys who are just watching how she died. This is like the way of the future, and this is how they solve crimes. Karen is not able to leave, and she wants to leave this place, but she can't because she is literally dead. She's going to be reliving this experience in her mind over and over again.
We did a ton of planning in pre-production, but I will say the one thing that we did not do a good job of was planning when it came to time.
There were a lot of challenging parts about making this film. Obviously, when you try something more sci-fi, something with effects, it's just automatically going to be harder.
The most challenging part was definitely our timeline, the time crunch we had. Crew had to get there at 9 a.m. Cast called time was 10. At the first location, we had to get between 50 and 60 shots, so that was really challenging.
We wound up improvising a lot of shots and not completely matching up our storyboard, and we overlooked a lot of things that if we had given ourselves enough time to do, we would have been able to fix on the spot.
My role was pretty large. I wrote the script, and I directed, and I have edited some of the piece too, and it was definitely a project that got close to my heart, and I got really passionate about it.
Well, it was a huge surprise that we got to shoot with the Canon C100, so that was a cool little surprise that I was unaware of. Probably the most rewarding part about shooting was the fact that I just got my GlideCam HD 4000. It was really a cool experience getting to handle a bigger camera because the GlideCams can handle bigger cameras. They're designed to do that.
So even though I was meant to be cinematographer, I was meant to be operating camera, Jacob and I had gone through and done all of the pre-production together. We'd done the storyboard together, so we knew exactly what we wanted each shot to be. I wound up having to hand the camera over to Sam just because of the fact that I couldn't handle it.
Another rewarding part was just working with the crew. This is one of the biggest sets I've worked on personally, and the crew was a lot of fun.
It was a very interesting experience on set because we had about 10 or 12 different people, including actors, on set at any time, and that is just the largest amount of people that I've had on set.
Also, it was so awesome to get to work with the cast and crew that we got to work with. Everyone was so awesome and supportive and helpful, and it was just a really awesome experience.
The editing process was kind of difficult. We ended up having a lot of people who needed to do their own part in the editing, so just, passing this project along and making sure that we were organized and keeping everything in folders and, just so that the next person who got it would make sure or would know where everything is and what they needed to do. It was definitely a more difficult project, and just to see where it is now and how much it's changed and what we have is incredibly amazing to me. I absolutely love it, and I just can't believe that we actually pulled it off.
We wound up with something that I'm pretty happy with. It really means a lot having all this support on the channel. It'd be super awesome if you checked out our other films and behind the scenes videos. Also, if you're interested in getting involved with our channel, there are links below in the description. You're welcome to submit criteria ideas for our future films, or you can even apply to be a team to make films on here.